Welcome back to the Owatonna Coaches Show. Again, my name is Mark Arjes, and we're here with take 2 in the junior high weight room with girls hockey coach Tim Hunst. So again, we want to thank our girls hockey sponsors, Ag Power, Bremer Bank, Coles Electric, Culligan, Federated Insurance, Insty Prints, the designer and printer of the hockey book this year, Oldenburg Photography, which by the way took a lot of the headshots and team photos in there, SPX OTC, Straight River Sports, Sign Pro, Truth Hardware, the Four Seasons Center, Trelo Inc., and Walzer Chevrolet Buick for their support of the girls hockey program this winter, and as well as the Coaches Show. And again, sitting here in the junior high refurbished weight room with Tim Hunst again, so thanks for hanging around. So we talked a little bit about, you mentioned the off-season in our last segment, but what are some of the off-season opportunities now for the hockey players as far as the girls are concerned?
There are a ton, but it depends on how far you're willing to drive, how much windshield time you're going to put in, how much money you want to lay out, because you can find training opportunities for very little money to ridiculously high money.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and you can find everything in between. So you really have to be selective on what you do, and we try to offer a really good product here so that people have a very viable option so that they don't have to leave town if they don't want to. And we try to plan around some of those that we know people are going to attend so that they can do multiple, so they can do some of their own training and also train with their teammates. So
talk about some of the local, what are some of the opportunities here locally?
Well, as far as the summer camps, the Four Seasons Center puts in ice from the third week of June until the third week of July. And so during that time, we utilize the ice. Both the boys and girls programs utilize that ice. Coach Storm will be running the boys camp, and I'll be running in a girls camp. And I've got it set up so that I've got high school and the U14 working together, the U10s and the U12s working together. And then this year, a new one I've got is the rookie camp. And that's for the young girls that are basically of age to be joining a U10, possibly starting a MITE type U8 type team, getting them kind of acclimated to hockey. They've been going through a learn to skate program in the park and rec. They've got some cross ice time in, but really trying to get them acclimated to what they're going to be doing. Some of the rules, getting them thinking about those before they get to the season, so that they can really concentrate on developing as a team when they get there. So we do that. We're going to be doing that 3 days a week, dry land component as well as on ice. And then it works opposite of the boys' camp. And so I know that there'll be some girls that are actually skating the boys' camp as well.
Okay. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of fun aspects to that too, right?
Well,
trying to, especially at those young ages, get girls engaged and keep them engaged. Right?
Well, and that's the thing, hockey is fun, you know, and that's what we do. You can frame all the skill development, which is the key thing in summer training. Off-season training is just skill, because you do your team stuff a lot of times during the season. But then you can find fun ways to do it. Basically, trick people into learning, learning to do things right while they're having fun. But that's no different than what we try to do in PE. Anywhere we go, we want to make it a game, make it fun, so that people want to continue to learn, to grow, and to move forward at all times.
Awesome, terrific. So when we talk about off season, then how about you as a coach? I mean, we're talking about opportunities for the kids. What are there opportunities that you take advantage of, or what's your focus?
Well, as far as education and development, we do have opportunities. We have clinics to go to, and you definitely have plenty of opportunities to do some other coaching of other players. One thing that we've already done since the season ended, Coach Macy and I coached the senior classic team from Section 1A and AA up in Blaine for the Senior All-Star Series, the Senior Classic for the girls program. And so we do stuff like that too. It lets people know that we still do exist here in southern Minnesota and that we actually can have some fun. We've got some players and we're going to do whatever we can to compete. And it kind of keeps us relevant so that people don't, when people say, "Where's Owatonna?" You can actually tell them rather than just have them guess.
And anytime you're in those, the communities, your peer community or whatever, you always get new ideas and see things and thought, maybe we should try that, right?
Absolutely, and it is important for us to get together with other coaches and taking advantage of some of those opportunities. Got a chance to work up for a long time now. Coach Tornell and I Joel Tarnell, my other assistant, and I have had the opportunity to work at the state tournament on the all-tourney selection team. And so we watch every single game of the state tournament, which sounds like it'd be really easy, but it's, I mean, when you're watching 16 games, you're just, it gets to be a lot. But during that whole time, you're interacting with those other coaches. You're getting ideas. You're setting up games. Our schedule next year is going to look quite a bit different than it did this year, based on some of the relationships that you create at those events. So yeah, we do a lot of things too as coaches.
Yeah. So who are the, talk about next year's team coming in now, who are the leaders, that you're looking to kind of take the lead? And
well, it starts with Abby Sawyer. She's been a captain for 2 years, and it's a big decision as a coach to make a kid a captain as a sophomore. And you need the right kid that can really handle that kind of responsibility. And there's definitely been some growing pains. It's tough. It's very tough on those. A lot of people believe that the C on your jersey is just for decoration to tell everybody that you're really good. When in actuality it means I can play, but I also am able to deal with all the other stuff. And that's why it starts with her. The reason we didn't have a ton of drama in the locker room was because of our captains, and Abby was one of those captains that was able to really work with people. She had her ups and downs, but she's strong as heck, and we're looking forward to seeing her do that. Peyton Noble, another girl that's been on the team for quite a while. We're looking for her to really step up. She started out slow this year, admittedly, by her standards as well. Just kind of thought things were going to happen for her because she had so much success in the past, and really got back to the hard hat and lunch pail type mentality and became a real leader that way. And we leaned pretty heavily also on Paige Rideau in this last year, and all three of them are back. Paige was a center for us and was just rock solid on draws, and we need her to do that as well. But we've got plenty more coming back. Those are just a few to start with.
That's great. So one other thing I wanted to just touch on while we have a little time here is I know this winter Cliff Castile, our wrestling coach, brought in the Gophers, came down for 10 weeks and did a thing they call Grit Wrestling, which is Jay Robinson's. It's really all about, it comes out of his intensive camps, but what it's about is the mental side of things, and it's about teaching skills and life skills like discipline and dedication. What's that really mean? So I know you've got you're the golf coach.
I'm thinking
golf's a very mental thing, but maybe talk about how do you implement things like that, whether it's around hockey or golf, or is it different, or is it the same?
Well, it's all about buy-in. It absolutely is about buy-in. If the athletes believe in what you're doing, it is fantastic, and it will take you to such great heights. You'll go so much further than you possibly could without. If your leaders on the team are like, do we really have to do this? This is stupid. If that happens, it tends to be almost counterproductive because it becomes more of a struggle. Luckily for me, I've had leadership that's bought in, and it really does help. The hockey side, a lot of it had to do with fighting through stuff that happened, dealing with adversity, whether it was during a game, whether it was in practice, whether it was off ice, whether you were tired, you didn't feel good, you're a little dinged up, all of those things, dealing with them ahead of time. And a lot of the training that we did physically with Insanity and things were so that we could be mentally strong. Because as we got physically tired in the past, mentally we fell apart.
People forget those are very linked.
And it is, and with some people more than others. But definitely for our squad, things would start to unravel very quickly when we got physically tired. Mentally, we started making bad mistakes. We started getting on each other's cases and really just fighting amongst ourselves. And this year we didn't have that, and I believe a lot of it was because we were prepared for that. The golf side, when you bring up golf, it is mental, and with all the snow on the ground, that's what we've been doing. We've been working on trying to get everything ready to go for the season, mapping out holes in our heads, and really dealing with that bad shot and forgetting it very quickly.
Short memory.
So, yeah, lots of mental stuff.
Well, hey, this is great stuff. I think we'll try to get back together and have a golf segment. Why don't we do that?
Absolutely.
As soon as the snow melts.
As soon as the snow melts.
All right. Well, again, this is the Owatonna Coaches Show, and we appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next segment.